Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this free recap video, I'm going to show you the easiest way I know how to identify when after the Wall Street bell rings that we could see a correction lower during the clearing. So the clearing period is that first 30 minutes after the 9:30 bell. And I would say probably 80% of the time, I'll be on the sidelines waiting for the high and the low of that first 30 minutes to establish itself. And that's what I call the clearing range. And then I'm looking for a breach of that range in the direction that I feel the market's most likely to go in. That direction is going to be predicated on typically what I call grab candles, the color-coded candles you see on my charts. And these are just an evolution of the way that I've used traditional Japanese candlesticks, but they give me a better look at sentiment and momentum than traditional Japanese candlesticks. And you'll notice that pretty much right on the open, by the time we got the 925 candle and then went right into the 930, we saw the first green colored grab candles in the 5-minute chart of the preceding 2.5 hours. So that in and of itself is not enough for me to say this is a bullish market, but we just launched higher after the market pretty much slopped around from 4:30 to 9:30. So the previous 5 hours were just basically range bound, and the market basically launched itself out of a cannon. That kind of move in terms of a quick acceleration where there was none really organized. In other words, this market wasn't already in an uptrend before the bell rang. It was basically trying to decide what it wanted to do. The bell ringing is what created that volatility. And normally that range for me, if I'm going to gauge whether or not it's being kind of quote unquote shot out of a cannon, it really should be the average to the high of the price movement range for that hour, which would be right about here, about 10, call it almost 11, 10 and a half to 13 points. So if the range for the 9:30 to 10 o'clock, that 30 minutes, the clearing range is approximately 10 to about 13 points, I will deem it fairly volatile. And I think this one absolutely qualified because you'll notice the 9:30 candle low was 27.09 and a half, and by the time we got to 10 o'clock we were at 19 and a half. So we got the 10 points very quickly when there was not a trend that existed before. So all those 10 points came with the bell. That's the first clue. The second clue is the fact that this is a market that just yesterday sold off. So it's not like, again, that this market's within the context of an established trend. We did not inherit a trend from the European, UK, or Asian close, and we did not organize into a trend before the open. This market just, again, created that 10-point range from 9:30 to 10. So normally what I'll do is keep 2 trades active. One is that clearing range breach. The other is a pullback, and it's that pullback that I sent out as an alert. Now, the difference between when you're looking for a breach and when you're going to wait for the pullback has everything to do with the scenario that I just described. And a lot of times that first trade of the day sort of sets the tone for everything that you do the remainder of the day. So that first trade of the day for me is psychologically very, very important. Was I bullish? Absolutely. Notice I didn't talk about fading the move. This wasn't an exhaustive move. It was well below the upper end, as you can see, of 13. We weren't pressuring 13 points. We weren't even pressuring the upper end of the move, which is nearly 19. So I'm not thinking this is an exhaustive move, but the degree to which we moved when there wasn't a preceding trend tell me, 1, we should be bullish, but 2, let's wait for the pullback. Okay. Now, sometimes I'll take a look at the 1-minute chart, and in the premium video, I'll get into how those of you who want to trade a market that is rallying like this, what are your alternatives during the first 30 minutes? Now, I mentioned I like to sit on the sidelines, but a lot of you saw the way in which the market just started off very bullishly during that 30 minutes. And a question I got today was, well, what do we do with that? Is there a strategy we can deploy with that? Absolutely. We'll talk about that in the premium video, as well as some other trades that we've had active throughout the week, going back to last Friday. See you in the next update.